seeing is good. Are we ready? Think so? Okay. Yes, we're ready. Good afternoon. We're so excited to have everyone with us, both here in person and those of you that are streaming and joining us online. It's really important to us to make all of our meetings and programming as accessible to everyone as we can. Everything that can have a virtual option, we want to make sure that that is offered. So we're excited to have all of you for our Creekwood Family Ministries meeting. This is the first meeting that we have done like this, all of us together. We want to welcome you and also just explain a little about our vision and mission of now having a family ministry. This is something that within the last 2 years, we have begun a lot of conversation on the floor. Whoop. There we go. Can't trust me with nice things. I sat still, too. Oh, my goodness. Okay. The idea of our family ministry is being able to approach discipleship and shaping our students on an entire family level. We've always had these really great departments from preschool and children's ministry and middle school ministry, which now we are referring to as preteen. We'll explain that in a minute. And student ministry, which is 7th through 12th grade. Where each one of these departments are really important, it also is important for the development, both spiritually and emotionally, of our students and children to know people at church, to be connected with volunteers, to know students that are older and younger than them, and feel and know that they are a part of the community. So the idea of having family ministry is a way that we can have a holistic approach to discipleship. The four of us meet together regularly every week on some level to make sure that we can connect over our programming, who's attending, who needs to be reached out to, pastoral care that may be going on. And by working as one unit instead of 4 separate departments, we are able to not only minister to the entire family, but able to connect those students and transition them from each department more fluidly and connect them to more adults while they are involved in our programming. As we gather today, I just want to do short introductions of each one of our staff so you know a little about the department that we work in, and we'll tell a little about our ministry areas. Before we get into all of that, we do have a short game. So I'm going to introduce our staff as David gets ready to present a fun icebreaker game for us. I didn't introduce myself in the beginning. I am Katrina Culberson-Smith. Students call me Kat. I am our pastor of student and family ministries and work primarily with our 7th through 12th grade students.
I'm Caitlin Maxwell. I've been at Creekwood, working at Creekwood for about 9 months now. I'm the director of Preschool Ministries, and Preschool Ministries, not childcare. It's actually the beginning of the Sweet Littlest Disciples spiritual journey, and I love that I get to be a part of that.
I am Alison Hicks, and I'm the Director of Children's Ministry. I oversee birth through 4th grade, and I actually started with Creekwood in November of 2019. And for those of you who know Wendy McConney, I shadowed her for a couple months, and then took the reins, and then COVID hit. No! So I really have been enjoying every single second that I've had with these kids, which has been totally different than anybody has ever experienced a new ministry position before. But I'm very excited to be here, and that my desire is to teach children about Jesus and God and how they can live their life with all the things that they learn, not just here, but when they're out in their community and sharing with their friends, and just that spiritual transformation. So,
I'm Donna Bartholomew. I'm the director of Preteen Ministries. That has recently changed. For the last almost 6 years, I've been the director of Middle School Ministries. However, if you're in this area, you know that if you go to school in Allen, 6th grade is in elementary school. If you go to school in Lovejoy, 6th grade is in intermediate school. And if you go to school in McKinney, you're in middle school. So it's so confusing to figure out what middle school ministries were. So we've switched over to preteens because that's an age level. So I'm in charge of 5th through 7th through confirmation.
Yes.
Oh, you don't need that.
I don't need that.
Sorry.
I was ready to take it from you. Oh my goodness. We're a lot of fun when we get together. I work primarily with our 7th through 12th graders. This student age for me is so much fun because being one of our pastors here on staff, getting to see how deep theologically that our students dig would make you excited and probably blow your mind. You wouldn't believe some of the questions that get asked in Sunday school. Some of our students, and I'm not talking just the juniors and seniors. In fact, we have some 7th graders that were online for Sunday school this morning that could keep my seniors on their toes, asking them some questions. For me, that's probably the most exciting part about getting to work with our students is seeing them engage and realize that they already are an integral part of our church and be able to ask those tough questions that maybe people haven't humored before and finding adults that can connect with them and be excited to help them dig a little bit deeper. We have in typical youth ministry fashion, we've got a fun icebreaker game for all of you. Introduced by none other than our senior pastor.
So, thank you all for being here. We've got 20 families now watching with us online, so just consider this entire middle section pretty much filled with parents and students, which is pretty awesome. I'm grateful for all of these people, first of all, but more grateful that we have the opportunity now. We're going to play just a quick game to get your minds thinking and ready to go, and it's called Proverbs or Yoda. For those of you who love who share my love of Star Wars, it's going to be a little one-liner, and it is either going to be Proverbs or Yoda. Now, those of you who are online, I can't interact with you necessarily and wait for you to answer because you're on like a 25-second delay. So I apologize about that. So answer at home, chat in the comment section, and see if you can get it. So here in person, just shout it out. I'm running media and doing this at the same time, so hopefully this is going to work. Here we go. All right. Proverbs or Yoda either comes from the book of Proverbs in the Bible or is a saying by the world's wisest Muppet. All right. Train up a child in the way they should go, and when he is old, they will not depart from it. You know the answer? It's a proverb. There you go. There's a proverb. There's Alison Hicks' favorite scripture verse. All right. I think Rick Adler got it first. All right. Wars make not one great. Yoda. That's right. All right. Even in laughter, the heart is sorrowful. Oh, that was a mixed reaction, but whoever said Proverbs is right. Very good. Rick is 3 for 3 here. A wise man is strong. Yea, a man of knowledge increases strength. That's Proverbs. Yoda doesn't say words like yay. I got this online. I should have edited to a modern translation. All right. Do or do not. There is no try. Yeah, everyone should know that one. That is the gospel truth. All right. Yoda on that one. All right. Fear leads to anger. Anger leads to hate. Hate leads to suffering. And it all leads to the dark side. That was Yoda. All right. That one should be in Scripture. All right. As a man thinks in his heart, so is he. That's Proverbs. Y'all are getting the hang of this. Named must your fear be. Before banish it you can. That is totally Yoda. Size matters not. Judge me by my size. Do you? That is Yoda. All right, that is it. Good job, everybody. Way to be proficient in your Yoda Proverbs knowledge.
Way back on. There we go. Always nice to have a little fun together, being able to be silly, and anytime David gets an opportunity to work Yoda into a ministry thing, I have, Absolutely. We're going to tell you just a little more about highlighting some areas in our ministries, things that you won't want to miss. As we get ready to do that, I do want to let all of you know that are streaming online, there should be a comment in that on that YouTube link from me that has a link to an email that was just sent out. If you don't have the email in your inbox, feel free to go to that link, and that will allow you to download all of the information in our family folders that were at the back if you're here in person to get. So you can look over our calendar and all of those events. We'll talk through each one of those things, but that is available if you'd like to start downloading those while we talk through ministry areas. And we'll start with Caitlin.
Okay, I'm happy to talk. Do you care if I stand? Okay, I'm going to stand because I just like doing that. I don't know. Okay, well, first a few things. I am really excited about all of the new stuff that we are going to be doing this coming year in children's ministry. So in your folder, you will find just a little brochure about children's ministry. We're not going to go over all the things right now, but just a couple highlights, and then we'll talk about Creekwood Plus here in a little bit. So you may see that on here, but during Sunday school, we meet each Sunday at 9:45 in person. We are requesting that our kids and all of our volunteers wear masks to create a super safe space for our children right now, since they do not have the opportunity to become vaccinated. But there are several families who are not ready to come back in person, and so we are now offering a virtual Sunday school. This is the second Sunday we've done that, directly after children's time at the 11 o'clock. So that link is always in my newsletter that I send out on on Fridays. And it's just kind of a short but very good and solid version of the lesson that we did earlier that day. So we hope your kiddos will join there. Caitlin is over our preschool ministries, and just so you know, we're offering childcare every Sunday morning at the 8:30 and 11 o'clock worship services, and then we provide Sunday school at 9:45 for our littlest kids, because this is where it all begins. This is where their spiritual transformation begins, so that when they come to me, they know some really great things, and then after they see me, they go to Donna with some more great things. So please know that we just love to have your kiddos, and we're really trying to provide a safe space for them as well. Please note that like on holidays where like the one coming up, Labor Day, that is not a huge attendance in Sunday school time, really. We really value our employees back there, and it is very tough for them to be sitting in a room with no children, which is kind of happening a little bit right now with COVID on those weird Sundays. So on those holidays, to begin, we will be providing childcare during the 8:30 worship service only, and then not 9:45 and not 11. So please make note of that. And when that changes, when we start seeing more faces and kind of get back into our normal routine, we'll change that up again on you, just to make it fun. So. And so one of the last things I want to talk about that I'm really super excited to bring here to Creekwood. I have done this before. It is super awesome. I'm sure you've all heard of Mission Possible Kids, which is our children's mission ministry. It's where our children are basically agents of God, and they go out and they're the hands and feet of Jesus and share all that they can with the people in our church, our community, and even the world. We take part in the missions here of Creekwood, and so now we are introducing Glow Kids, which allows our 3-year-olds, 4-year-olds, and 5-year-olds that are in pre-K to also participate in those missions, because you are never too young to start learning how to share Jesus with others. So we're real excited to be introducing that. So there are some other things we'll go through in a little bit, but that's just kind of the biggest highlights right now.
So I just have to show you, I was sending a note to Kat saying, why do I have to follow Allison? Because she's so excited about everything, and I'm much more laid back. So, yeah, chill. Yeah, well, there's that. Okay, so for Preteen Ministry, on Sunday mornings, we are meeting down at the Preteen building, formerly known as the Middle School Center. We're meeting outside right now because we are still waiting, or in the process of repairing damage that was done last February with the freeze. So we're outside, and it turns out that that's a fabulous thing because we can distance, we can run around, we can just get our wiggles out. I mean, preteens, this is what we do, what they do. I'm not a preteen. Maturity-wise, yes, I'm a preteen. We also have an online format because the 5th and 6th grade students some are eligible for the vaccine. Most of them aren't. At least at this point in the year, some of our 6th graders will become eligible later on, but we have to be extra careful because we have some that are not vaccinated and some that are. So being outside is great. For those who aren't ready to come back yet, we do have an online Sunday school class. It meets at 9:45. It's the same class, except it's online, completely online, its own group. We might have a senior pastor who is involved with that, just so you know. And so we have one group that's outside, one group that is online, so everybody can be safe. And we will talk about Creekwood Plus in a bit. Confirmation is 7th grade. This year we are moving it to the spring, so we'll start in January. The confirmation class of 2022 will start in January of 2022 and finish in November of 2022 with the summer off. There are reasons, it's to help the students maintain their attendance. You get in the habit of coming every Sunday, and then summer happens, and you're off on vacation, and it's really hard to get back into the swing of things. So by finishing right at Christmas is an exciting time to be here. So that's a big positive, and we're hoping that that will help keep our kids involved and excited after confirmation. I have to say that the kids that I see in here right now, the high schoolers, we're all in confirmation and they're still very active. So that's a good sign. I love seeing that. All right. You still got it.
So moving on to our students, our 7th through 12th graders. Similar programming, we have Sunday school. We actually meet in the student center, which, I cannot get this back in my pocket, it's not happening, I'm just gonna hold it. We meet in the student center, which we kind of joke about is over the pond and through the woods. We are just separated. We have our own entrance off of Stacy, and if you follow the little path right past the Preteen Center, that will lead you out to us with the student center. 7th through 12th grade meet there in person at 9:45 for Sunday school. We also have a Zoom code for online meeting. Currently, that class is hybrid. We have just a few online, and we have integrated that into our online Sunday morning. We'll talk more about volunteer opportunities in a bit, and that is a place where we can currently grow, looking for some more volunteers to be able to have a separate online small group for that. But currently that is meeting hybrid, all together, 7th through 12th graders, online and in person. Out at the Student Center, like Donna said, we'll talk just in a second about Creekwood Plus. That's our Sunday afternoon offering for all of these age groups. We also offer high school Bible study for 9th through 12th graders. We meet on Wednesday nights. That will begin coming up here in September. Currently, we're meeting at the Student Center where we can be outside, have access to the fire pit and the pond. That is a group that has an a video study that they do together. There's also a hybrid option for that. So for our online options for student ministry, we have Sunday school and Wednesday night Bible study. Sunday afternoons is an in-person activity as of now. Just two more things to highlight for us. Program-wise, we are the home of our student adult leadership team, known as SALT. And I have to lift up those of you online that cannot see our group here in person. We have many of our students that are SALT members that are here in person. We're here just to greet people this morning, and I love how active they are in worship and at important things that we do. It's really important to be able to hear from our students and shape them as leaders of the church right now. They are already members. They are already leading. They see things that go on. They see opportunities for leadership and for mission opportunities, and are able to work with our adults to make those things happen and learn to be leadership of the church right now. One event coming up actually next Sunday that I just want to remind our junior and senior class about is Junior Senior Lake Day. We are going to Prothro Center on Lake Texoma to have a little boating fun outside where we can distance and play safely. They've got a beach area and a place to play volleyball, and a great volunteer that's coming up and bringing a boat, and that is something special for our junior and senior leaders. Moving on in our agenda, we will jump down to things to do today, whether that is while you're here in person or at home. Hopefully, if you are streaming, you have found those documents. We'll talk a little through that folder. Allison's going to walk us through that, but I want to make sure that you have that up. The easiest way for those things that need to be filled out, if you are online, if you come to church and you'd like to bring that with you, that's great. The easiest way to get that done today, if you're filling out the med form and the volunteer form, we encourage you to do both of those. You can fill that out right where you sit in your house and take a picture and email or text it to me, Kat at ksmith at creekwoodumc.org, or my phone number is listed in the staff information, so you can take care of that today and make sure that we get that information and get it updated. For Creekwood Plus, just to explain a little more about what that's about, I told you a little about our vision of why we have a family ministry. And we have a family ministry because we want to enrich and support the entire family together. Instead of just these 4 units, we really care about the family being immersed in experiences together. So this opportunity, youth already met. Our SNL program already existed on Sunday evening. And as we talked as a family team for more opportunities for our other age groups, it made sense to change this time, bring it to the afternoon, and add opportunities for our kindergartners all the way up through 12th grade. So the entire family, the idea is that you can come as a family. We'll have some opportunities coming up for adults, where adults can have a class or they can volunteer with one of the many ministry areas, maybe one where your student is not, for older students that might care about that. And have an opportunity for everyone to be able to do something together here at Creekwood, which is why we've called this program Creekwood Plus. It is extra hours to come and have fellowship and study and pour into each other. So in each one of these areas, do we want to talk through those a little, what they are? Yeah, if you, I'll start with children's ministry and let Allison tell you just a little about what's offered for children during Creekwood Plus.
Okay. Can you hear me? Oh, yeah, okay. Okay, so let's try to make this as easiest as we can, because the timing is very awkward. But it all happens between 3:30 and 5:30 on Sunday afternoons, okay? So let's start with bells and choir. So we are providing our children the opportunity to learn how to play, yes, the like ringing bells, right? The bells that the women, I guess there's no men on there, but the women play during worship, and we're super excited for this opportunity. So the way that we have divided this up is from 3:30 to 4:05. Our kindergarten through second graders will learn how to play chimes, and this is all online, so go to the link, okay, go to Children's Ministry page, and it's all there for you, but I just want to give you a kind of a breakdown. So from 3:30 to 4:05, our kindergarten through second graders will go to chimes, which is just the beginning stages of learning how to be successful at playing the bells. And our third graders through sixth graders, yes, sixth graders, you heard me correct, we wanted to provide them the opportunity to learn that as well, and I'll talk more about that in just a second. But our third through sixth graders are going to go to choir during that time. And it's not just choir. They do all sorts of stuff. If you know Lisa Witherington, she has agreed to lead that for us again this year. She is a music teacher at an elementary school. She not only does vocal, but she also brings in Orff instruments, if you're familiar with what that is. They're wooden xylophones, and the kids get to play all that, and bongos and drums, and I mean, it's awesome. And then the third part of that she also engages the kiddos in is like movement. So it's kind of like not so much dancing, but just how to like move with the music, if you will. So that's going to be a really great opportunity for those kiddos. Then from 4:05 to 4:40, they flip-flop. So our kinder through second graders will go to choir, which is with Whitney Lamka West, if you're familiar with her. She also has like a master's in music, and wow, this is going to be awesome. I don't know. I was very feeling good when I sat down and chatted with them. And so while our littler kids are going through choir, then our big kids will then go play bells with Mel Fields, and she's here with us today. And we're very excited to have her helping us with that. Then after that, they will come to a new thing that we're introducing called jam. We're not having jam. We're not eating jam. That's what I was asked today by the kids. I mean, we can eat jam. But this is like an acronym, if you will, for Jesus and Me. This is going to be like an energetic, exciting, it's an experience. It is not going to be like Sunday school. It's going to be a lot more relaxed, laid back, but fun and exciting and up here, if you will, so that our children can see both opportunities, what Sunday school is like, and then how awesome and so cool it is to also come learn about the Bible later on in the afternoon in just a totally different setting. The jam currently is going to be for kindergartners through fourth grade. And so what happens with those fifth and sixth graders? Where do they go? And that's when they go see Donna for Club 56. And something else that she's going to talk about, if your kiddos are not interested in choir and or bells, and they're in fifth and sixth grade, then she's got some opportunities for you there as well. And I think that's all for Club for me. Yeah.
Okay. All right, so Club 56. Club 56 has been around for a few years, but we only met once a month. It's really an opportunity for our fifth and sixth graders to get to know each other, to have fun together, to hang out, to play games, and we are taking that now weekly. So during the time of 3:30 to 5:30 on Sunday afternoons, we will have opportunities for students to be involved in the music program. We also have large games. These are some of the games that we've played over the years: photo scavenger hunts, capture the flag, that type of large campus run around as much as possible. Again, lots of energy. Those type of games. We'll also have a short devo, a small time of devotion, and some small group time to actually talk about God and Jesus and how it applies when you're sitting in math in fifth grade. So it's going to be a lot of fun. It's going to be a little more crazy. Because I have preteens, I'm probably not going to, I will be following part of Allison's 4:05 to, when they get there, and we just make it work because it's preteens. I mean, but it's going to be a lot of fun, and I'm really hoping that we can get our kids to connect. Because looking at some of the kids in the room that are still sitting together, these are the kids who have formed the friendships in 5th, 6th, 7th grade that are carrying them through. And that's what we want for our preteens here.
For students, we are continuing our program called SNL. Sunday Night Live is what our SALT group has named that, and that's our opportunity to do similar things to our younger groups, where we have music and we have opportunities for fellowship and games. We actually start with a big group game. We go back and forth between it being big, energetic games that are outside. Our high schoolers and middle schoolers that are here today can tell you some of their favorites, from Gaga Ball to 9 Square to Chicken Ball, some of the other crazy things that we play. Some of those are big active ones, and we also make sure that we have some more passive games, being able to play cards and spoons so that we can engage all of our students on things that they find interesting. So we start with that game time. We move to small groups, which will split up by age group, which is volunteer dependent. We will get there in a minute about how many of you we need. If those of you in person, you can see some of these red shirts that are our student ministry volunteers that work primarily with our kids. It takes a lot of people to do that. We'll split into those small groups where we're able to have our time of study. Our deeper study is during Sunday school, but this is where we get to do these topical things that students pick, being able to talk about things that they deal with at school. And talk through that with adults, have a chance to have some real conversation about theology and where it meets their world. And then we close in worship together that actually is led by our praise band, our student praise band. They were featured during worship on our Youth Sunday last week. Many of you got to hear some of their talents, and we are lucky enough that we get to have them lead us in worship every week during SNL. So that is a little of what that program looks like for us from 3:30 to 5:30. We meet out in the Student Center for that as well, which is that same location off of Stacy Road. Moving on in our agenda this evening, this Creekwood Plus program is really a lot of the reason for this meeting, wanting to pull everyone together, but really wanting some excitement and some information about this new program that we are offering. We know that this is a really crazy time to launch anything new with everything that we are facing. And first, I think, yeah, we're all laughing. I think we just want you to know that we know that. And all of us are in that spot of wanting to make sure that we offer enough for our students, that they are engaged, that we have opportunities for those that are comfortable here in person, that we are very careful about our precautions. You notice that the four of us are without masks this evening, just standing up here, but when we are with students and the moment that we walk down the stage, we will have our masks on. We will make sure that we are watching distancing. Any of our programming that can happen outside, we try to do outside. Before we even get to Q&A, I will tell you that we are cautious about what is going on. We want to make sure that we have enough opportunities for our students and giving them chances to have this fellowship in person because it is so important to mental health. We also want to make sure that we offer good online programs. Right now, Creekwood Plus will not have an online component. With it being just beginning, we're still figuring out how to engage that. So that will be in person only for now, but Sunday morning is when we will have that online option for all of our students and want to engage them. If you are an online family, if you are streaming online with us tonight and you are interested in being able to help us provide more online or more outside opportunities, please check that on your, we're gonna go through the folders in just a second, and there are places for you to say what you're interested in possibly volunteering. And if that is something that you are feeling called to help us lead, we would love for you to step forward. It may not say exactly that, but if you're interested in an area, just note for me that if that's an online thing that you'd like to help us with, let us know, because the more volunteers that we have in person and online, there's so much in that folder, we're still going through it. That's okay. We want to know that you're interested in that, because it takes a lot of hands to be able to make those things happen. So know that we're open to adapting that programming and presenting everything that we can, and we need you to do that. So saying that and moving forward, Allison's going to tell us just a little bit about the folder. Hopefully, I did hear that the link on YouTube was not, or didn't post, but you should all have that in your email. Okay, so the comment, I hear the comment is there, but it didn't come up as a link. So if you copy and paste that link into your browser, you can access that information, and Allison's going to talk you through what's there. And just remember that if you're at home, feel free to just take a picture of that and send it. That will work, and we'll make sure we get your information.
Yes, and if you are at home and you do want a full folder and a copy with all the color and everything, just contact any of us. We're here at the office, and we'll be happy to set you one in the office with your name on it. So, okay, there is a lot of goody stuff in your folder, and so I just want to go through a few things. So I have to say that Kat is pretty brilliant, and she came up with this really great idea. So the very first page is registering your entire family. He's saying yes or no. Oh, it's the mic. We're having mic fun over here again. That's fun. So if you have ever had a child that spans 3 ministries, like I do, it is a lot more, it's just a lot better if you have all of the information on one single page. And so that's what Kat did for us. It's so awesome. So every single child you can register right here on this page. We're going to make a copy of each one, and each one of us is going to have a binder with your child's information on it. So you don't have to fill this out 10 times. So yay to that. Yep. Now, if you flip over on the back, this is our favorite page. This is the volunteer opportunities. And you will notice it has tons and tons of stuff on here. And the first line, or the first little space on the side, is if you would like more information about that. And we know that there is tons and tons of stuff happening, and we're happy to provide you more information about the program or what that volunteer opportunity looks like. And then if you want to go ahead and sign up, click the second one. So let us have that too. One thing that I was going to make a mention about this. I know what it was. Kat also had this really great idea too. If you read something on here and you think, this is interesting, but I'm not sure that I want to make the commitment for the semester or for the year, give us 3 weeks. Give it 3 weeks, right? That's what she said, 3 weeks. And if you are in there after 3 weeks, I'm pretty sure you're going to love it. But if you don't, then we want you to be successful in your volunteering here also at Creekwood, and we'll get you somewhere else and do something different. Or you could just do something every 3 weeks that's different. So we encourage you to participate in several of these. Then, of course, the medical release form, that is also important. You'll notice it has 3 places for your kiddos' names. Really, this really is for 3-year-old through seniors in high school. For GLOW kids and MP kids, there might be some times where we travel outside of the grounds to accomplish to finish up our missions, to see it all the way through. And of course, we would need parents there, but we also just like to have that medical release form for your kiddos. So if you would add all children to that medical release form, and be sure that you sign the back. That's important too. The next page is all things children's ministry. We just gave you a brief description of all of our current programming and upcoming programming. You'll notice some things on there I didn't mention, like acolyting. We're bringing that back. We're super excited about that. So we encourage you to read those pages. Then you'll find sheets on Preteen Ministries, confirmation. Are you still taking registrations? Yes. All the days we are accepting registration for confirmation. Fill it in. That's right. Keep coming. We got some time. And then, of course, we have our 7th through 12th graders student ministries brochure lastly on that left side. When you open up the right side, this is a totally awesome thing we've created for you, and that is a comprehensive family ministries calendar. And we did color coordinate it for you, so you have some idea of what is happening. You'll notice at the bottom is a legend. And so all things children's ministry are blue, and it just goes from there. Preteen, orange, student ministry, green, so on and so forth. Anything that's in black is all of us. It has to do with your children from birth through seniors in high school. So is there anything on here that's super exciting we need to go over right this minute? Do you think? Do you want to do that? Yeah? Do you want me to do
just
that?
those 2, sure.
Okay, so the last, I'm going to let Kat talk about those.
That's
or
fine.
Donna, either one, I'm not sure. The last page on that right-hand side is all of our contact information. So if you have any specific questions, you can specifically reach out to us. And it does say the grade levels that we focus on, so, or ages, I guess I should say. So, any questions? Guess who has a question? It's our fearless leader. Yes, sir. Okay, is this from an online question?
Online.
Okay.
Yeah.
Not at the moment. Yeah, the question was, will JAM be offered virtually? And it will not, from the start, be offered virtually. But of course, this is forever changing, just like everything else is, and that could possibly happen. I want to, so we did, for children's ministry, kindergarten through 4th grade, we did a hybrid Sunday school for many, many months, where we had kids online and kids in person, and brought the two together. And it is a challenge. It is truly a challenge. And as fun as it was very difficult to lead. And I just felt like the kids that were online were not getting my full attention, or the volunteers' full attention, and same with the kids that were in person. So that's why we've split them up in person and virtually for Sunday school. So there very well could be something that comes up in the future for our virtual kiddos during Creekwood Plus. We'll play that one by ear.
It's easier. Goodness. So moving on, we'll have a full session for Q&A here in just a moment. Were there any other questions on that calendar specifics? Yes. Here, let's run you a mic. Hang on just a second. He's coming. Technical difficulties. We need music. There we go. Yes.
Looking at your calendar, is the assumption that there is CW Plus if it doesn't say no CW Plus?
Correct. On the Sundays that do not say anything about Creekwood Plus, that's CW Plus, that's for Creekwood Plus. The weekends that don't say that, then it is on. We tried not to, do you have one with you? The calendar, sorry. I didn't say what. Do you have a thing? Can I have a thing? On the calendar, just because there's so much here, our weekly events like Sunday School and Creekwood Plus and High School Bible Study are not listed on every week. So instead, we listed when they are not happening, just to make that easier. That is a great question. Thank you. So on weeks that don't have something about it, it is on. Any other technical questions on the calendar? And we'll move to, I've got some volunteering things for you, and then we'll go to Q&A, and we will wrap up. Anything else on the calendar? Or anything on your packet? Are there any online questions? Okay. Good deal. Volunteering, we've talked some about volunteering tonight, and obviously something that we're really passionate about, because if you look around the students in the room, and those online and those that we saw this morning, both online and in person, wouldn't be here without all of the help that we have doing this. We have a really great staff. I couldn't ask for a better group to work with, but we need so much help from the congregation to be able to make these ministries happen, and these relationships that are fostered between people in the congregation and the students are so important. And I wish, if you haven't seen it yet, watch sometime when you see students come into the worship center, and some of the people that they're able to say hi to or talk to or know names of that have no relation with their family, that are not in their age group, and they know them because they care enough to make these connections, to volunteer, to hang out. And this is a really important part of what we do. So in your packet, Alison mentioned that we have that volunteer sheet. It's on the back of the registration form. Yes. That is an opportunity for you to let us know where you might be interested. Know that this is not necessarily a commitment. This is, hey, I want to look into possibly having this opportunity. And the way that we do our volunteering, like Alison said, is we have a 3-week ask. We ask, if you're interested in volunteering with us, that you pick an area that you would like to get to know some students and see a program, and just give us 3 weeks to show up to that program. We will get you ministry safe trained first. Anyone who's interested in volunteering and checks that on their form, you will get an email this week for a ministry safe training, which is an online quiz that you do that just covers us on making sure that we are safe in operating with each other and with students. That's something that all of our staff and volunteers complete. So you'll get that email this week. and then you will be contacted by one of our staff members in the area that you're interested in, and we will talk with you about what program you would like to volunteer in, whatever you happen to indicate. And we'll ask you to give us 3 weeks to show up to Creekwood Plus, to come to Sunday school, to get to know that group of kids, and then we'll have a conversation about if that's a good fit for you. So know that you have that out after 3 weeks, but that's a good opportunity for you to kind of see what the program's about, to have some opportunity to really observe before you're kind of thrown in. It's a chance to sit and connect with kids and visit, but you won't be asked to lead a class on your own. You won't be thrown in to do something by yourself. It's just a chance to get to know the kids and get to know the program and see if that's a good fit. And after that is when we'll have more formal training on that ministry area that you chose, as well as the program that you would like to help out with, and we can get more specific after that. But this is just a great way to get you ministry safe, trained, and background checked, and then just be able to be with our students and see where it might be a good fit for you. I loved Allison's idea of, if you don't know where it is, you can spend 3 weeks with each one of us. That's fine. Oh, mine? I don't know. Hop around, try them all. Well, for trying them all, that was you. I liked that. We'll just hang out with Caitlin, and then Allison, and then me, and then Donna. You said that, yeah. Just like, try them all. So make sure to fill out that form for us, whether you're in person. Do that right now if you've got it in your lap. If you're at home, you can fill that out, and take a picture and get that emailed or text to us so we can get that. I have 2 things. I've got 2 folks that are near and dear to my ministry that I talked with. I'm giving you a second to get your heads together because I know I hate speaking in front of people too. I have 2 volunteers that agreed just to share a couple minutes with you about what volunteering with students has done for them. We talk all the time about how important it is for students and children to have volunteers, and it is. It is absolutely important. What you don't always hear is I wish you could see the smiles right now of this group up here that has been volunteering for a little bit. You don't always get to hear about the way that all of us get filled by working with these students. There is something so special about being trusted with silly things that we get told, being a part of goofy activities that we do. For student ministries, sometimes playing a game with the rubber chicken and acting a fool, right? It's what we do, and it's a way to connect with students. So I'm going to invite Dwayne Doman and Amanda Fletcher to come up. We'll pass them a mic, and they're just going to share a little bit about what volunteering has meant for them. You're first.
Okay, so I was trying to do the math, and this is my 9th year to be a volunteer with Creekwood. So, and it is Kat kind of said it, and she had a hint of what I was going to talk about the pouring. Because you think about, as a volunteer, you're going to pour into these kids and bring them closer to Christ. I don't think I do a good job at that. Some of the kids here probably say I do, but what I get out of it is they pour into me. And it is part of my spiritual growth they took me with them. And I just enjoy it so much, just learning from them. They have a different perspective on what it means. They'll look at a Bible verse and, even Kat, right, study the Bible, knows all this theology stuff, and I'm not that. That's why we need these people up here. But they'll look at it and they'll go, well, I don't think it's that. I think it means whatever. And I'm just like, And we'll share stories afterwards of going like, wow, did you ever think of that? And they're like, no. And it's like, so yeah, it's a great opportunity. And, I like the 3-week. I actually started off, I checked the box that said I would be a driver. That's all that I was like, I can handle that. I can handle the 20-minute drive and 20-minute drive back. And of course, it did morph into something a whole lot more. And it is enjoyable. And they need help if it's like online. If you think you do something online, 3-week thing, yes, write your name in there. Look at the opportunities, and you won't regret it. I haven't.
So I'm Amanda Fletcher. I have been at Creekwood for about 3 years. I have 3 little kids, so people look at me like, why are you hanging out with teenagers? But I actually started about, I guess maybe almost 12 years ago at a previous church. Sorry. I have a new respect for this virtual Zoom. So I started out about 12 years ago doing mission trips. I've been camping, which don't sign me up for that. I've tried preteen for maybe 3 weeks, but my point is, the 3 weeks, yes, exactly. So I guess my point is I've tried all kinds of things, and teens are my passion. I'm not the bubbly personality, and I'm not a preteen. I have totally the teenager affect, I think. And but I think as I become less cool, my goal with the youth is just to be like a normal human role model in the phase that I'm in, and that was started out as a newly married person and then having kids, and even if that's not their same path, it's just me living my life in a Christian way, and that's not always easy, and I'm definitely not perfect at it, but I think that's important for teenagers to see and to listen to their problems, because their problems may, we remember having those challenges, and they may seem a little bit, funny, but they're real, and they need someone to listen to. And my parents were involved in my youth too, but I know the people that I still talk to today are people that were not my parents, and were in a different phase of life at the time, and so I just think that's important. And I'm not a biblical scholar, and so I rely on Kat for that, but I think just being consistent and a friendly face, like Kat said, is really important, and was important for me. Every now and then I think about how busy I am and how tired I am, and maybe I should take a break, but then I run into a youth who tells me how important it was that I was there. And I recently got text from a girl who's I met her when she was a freshman in high school, and she's now a nurse in Idaho, and I'm a nurse practitioner, and so we started texting about jobs and kids and work and life, and we joked about how we used to talk about driving and driver's license and school and all those teenage things, and so it was kind of this really fun reminder that this is where I'm supposed to be. And so if you're thinking about it, you should definitely just try it for 3 weeks. Yeah.
Thank you. So Amanda, I think you need that 3rd week with preteens. I'm going to take that 3rd week from you.
We should go 4 weeks. Oh my goodness. Well, that's a really good example, though. 3 weeks is a really good example, and Amanda, it's a perfect example too of I did preteen for 3 weeks, and that was not for me, and I tried something else. And I have to tell you, Amanda, I have to tell a little about how you came to volunteer with us, because I would love to say that I know each and every one of you, and that we can see that someone has certain gifts with a program, but we may not know. I actually did not even know Amanda really until she emailed me out of the blue and said, hey, do you happen to need help with student ministry? Absolutely, we need help with student ministry. When are you available? What would you like to do? And that was how she got connected, was just sending an email. And that's really what we're asking of you tonight, is knowing, I don't know if we got our numbers together of exactly how many, but I do know that just on Sunday morning, I want you to look at us and how many departments we have. How many Sunday school classes do you run, Caitlin? 4. 3.
Right now, I've just got the 1.
2. You've got an online, and then you have your in-person.
I have 2. Actually, then mine would be 4.
Okay, 4. So these numbers keep changing, right? You see how many of these classes, 4, 4, 2, 2, multiply, add all those numbers together. I'm asking you to do math. Multiply them by 2, and that is the minimum amount of adults that we need just on Sunday morning. It is the same amount of adults for Sunday afternoon. You can double dip and do both, or we need extra. So you see how quickly this number starts to mount of how many adults that we need. It's so great that we are able to pour into these students. Know that they also have so much to pour into us, and being a part of investing in them is one of the greatest gifts that we can be a part of. When they know that someone cares outside of their family, someone that they didn't know had no idea, maybe doesn't have kids their age, and knows that they're there on purpose. I have to tell you how much that got our students' attention when Amanda walked in and they asked, well, where's her kid? Well, they're in children's ministry. Well, then why is she here? She just cares about you. What? And that's exactly how that conversation went. And it gets people's attention when they realize this person's just here because they care about me, and I didn't even know them. That really means something. So know that each and every one of you have an opportunity to do that, be that, for one of our students. I won't take your time in reading. Do you have that list of the registration form with the volunteer things? Sorry, I keep asking for stuff. The registration, volunteer. I won't take your time in reading every single one of them, but know that they're split up from Sunday morning volunteers, Creekwood Plus, which is the afternoon time. There's Wednesday high school Bible study. That is a whole different thing. There's special event volunteers, and then special event for summers. So know that we ask about these 3 weeks. If you are in this place where you just can't do 3 weeks, know that there are even things for you to help us with. We have these special events. If you look for special events and summer event volunteer, those are these one-off things that we also need adults for. So if you just don't have 3 weeks, we ask that you please maybe find one that you can give us. For special events coming up, we have Bishop's Rally. We hosted this in 2019. It is a conference-wide event, which means all of the churches in our North Texas conference are invited to this. We had 400 plus people here something like that. When we hosted, we packed the sanctuary. When we hosted in 2019, 2020? What year? Oh my gosh, it was 2020. Last year, it was last year. I don't know what year it is. Y'all, I was out on, right before all of the shutting down happened, and I think I was pregnant a year, and then we were we were out for a year. I don't know what year it is. So last year we hosted this event. Know that this takes 70 to 120 volunteers to pull off. So this is a really important thing. It's something that we do for our 5th through 7th graders. Donna talked about confirmation and how integral that is. That is the point where students are able to go on this theological journey, see who's investing in them, realize what they want out of the church, and be able to take those membership vows for themselves that perhaps were said over them with them in their baptism. This event is a chance for all of these confirmands and 5th through 7th graders for across our conference to come together, to worship together, and to see what the church looks like on a conference level, what it looks like to be gathered as one body, and our bishop of our North Texas conference will be here to preach just to them. So this is a chance for all of us to show up and show these preteens how important they are and that our entire conference cares about them. And we are blessed to host that here at Creekwood for all of these churches. So that is going to take a ton of volunteers. Any of you that can fill out Ministry Safe and come here and be a smiling face, we'd love to give you a game to watch or help just being eyes in small groups and here to smile at students and point where bathrooms are. Easy jobs, but we need a lot of people to make that happen. Trunk or treat is coming up. Is there anything special you want to say about that?
Turned it off. We were trying to save the battery. It's okay. So Fall Festival is what we have held here for many, many years, I believe. And so last year we were looking for like a very safe way to have kind of an event for our kids, not so much a community event at that time, but we really thought it went well, and so we're going to continue to do trunk or treat this coming year. So what we need is a lot of trunks popped open, decorated in fall and Halloween decor. There are prizes for the best biblical theme and the best Thanksgiving, best trunk, I guess is what we call it. So no pressure, but I mean, pressure's on. So, but it is a lot of fun. It's just a couple hours out in the parking lot, and the kids just really love it. They come all dressed up in their totally awesome Halloween costume, and they go from trunk to trunk, and you pass out like loads of candy. And so we hope that you will participate in that. You'll see some signups coming out soon for trunks and just for volunteers. If anybody knows a music person who likes to play lots of music, I could really, really use a DJ. So it's a little plug on that one. But.
So that pretty much wraps up our, I guess I can give this back to you. This was yours. That wraps up our volunteer opportunities. Know if there are any questions about that, feel free to contact the ministry area that you're interested in or myself. I'd be glad to help you answer any of those questions that you may have. And speaking of questions, we'll move on to our Q&A. So any questions that you might have about programming, how things work, if you are here in person, you can flag down one of our microphones. And if you are online, feel free to just type that into the chat, and that will be read for us so that we can answer your question. This is, if you have any questions about ways to volunteer or specifics on ministry programming or something on the calendar, now is the time. Nope. Thanks for bearing with us while we're toggling microphones that work. You'd be impressed with just a couple of volunteers and a senior pastor can do. They're running all over the place. For those
There
of you
you
who can't see
go.
them.
There
we
you
go.
go.
Thanks.
Okay. So Meg is asking, is there anything that's listed in the calendar that has a Zoom option? Not just a hybrid, but exclusively remote.
Exclusive Zoom options are in our ministry, children's ministry. They have exclusive Zoom Sunday school during the 11 o'clock hour, approximately 11:20, right after children's time during the 11 o'clock service. That is exclusively Zoom. Exclusively Zoom also exists for 5th and 6th grade Sunday school. And as soon as 7th through 12th has extra volunteers, we can have exclusively Zoom. Right now, those are the exclusively
But
Zoom.
no other than Sunday school right now.
Other than Sunday school?
Right.
No.
Okay, cool. Thank you. There was also just FYI, a calendar question, which I'm sure.
Somebody find a typo? I should have candy in my pocket.
19th and the 25th, is it, David?
Oh.
For the ministry fair instead
Yes,
of the
I should have
12th
pointed
and
that
the
out. So
19th.
there is a mistype. Thank you, whoever pointed that out. Note in your calendar, you have pins. Where it says ministry fair, that is listed as the 12th and the 19th. Correction, that is actually the 19th and the 26th. Thank you. So if you'll write that. That in some of our publications was posted both ways. That is the correction. It is 19th or 26th. Thank you.
Okay, and that takes care of our online questions right now. If we missed anybody, please just repost your question and we'll get to it.
Anybody else in person have any questions? Yeah, I've got one right here. Just a second. Wait for the.
Do we know the mission trips yet this year?
What was that again?
Do we know yet what we're doing for mission trips?
We do not know yet we were doing for mission trips. I can tell you our hopes for that. We are hoping that we are going to be able to travel this year and take a travel trip. I would imagine that probably is going to be a just Creekwood trip somewhere. I am not sure what that is yet or where. That is something that we are already in the process of looking into what options are safest. I'm in a group of other youth workers. There are many of us in the conference that are working together to put together resources for what options are available for all of us. So know that we're picking lots of brains and trying to put that together right now. So we do not know. We hope to travel. In the opportunity that we're not able to travel, we'll have something local again, but we do hope to have a travel mission trip. And we will hopefully know this in this coming year. That's something that I'd like to be able to announce to everyone by January where we're going.
Okay, thank you.
Anything else? I thank you so much for your attendance and just being here. And I see that some of you are still furiously writing. I know that it is a lot to fill out, but know that it is really helpful to be able to have those med forms and registration forms filled out, as well as that volunteer form, know that's something that we'll make really easy for you. When you turn that in, that will actually take something off of you, because when your student or your child volunteers with something or goes on a trip, we already have that on file, and that's one less thing that you've got to do, and means that you'll be able to do those registrations online instead of here in person to fill out that form. So that'll just make that a little bit easier. You'll get follow-ups on the volunteer inquiries within this week. We're really happy that you were with us. Any other questions? Are we good? Okay. Is that a flag from the back? Do I have a question? Oh, we're okay. I just saw a hand. What does that mean? I would love to close our time in prayer as we adjourn this evening. Loving God, we thank you so much for our children, for our students, parents, volunteers, and community that loves and pours into them. We recognize that it's such a gift to be a part of someone growing up, to be a friendly face that they see, and to pour love and grace into them in hopes that they will continue to pour out that same love, that same grace on our community. I pray over each and every one of us here gathered online and those a part of our Creekwood family and community, that we can continue to do the best for our students. God, for these new programs and opportunities and the places we have to grow, we know that continuing to seek you is how we are able to offer more and do that better. And that we will continue to do together. And we pray these things in Jesus' name. Amen. Thank you so much for being here. If you did not grab a folder, please do that on the way out. If you have filled forms, if you could place them on the table or hand them to Jen at the door, that would be great. If you're watching online with us, like I said, that's something easy. You can just snap a picture with your phone and email or text that. All that information is on that contact form. We'd love to get those from you so we can further help you out. Thanks so much for being here, and we will see you on the 12th when we launch in the afternoon. Around for a minute, so if there's, sorry, thank you. If there's any other questions or just conversations for departmental stuff, we will be here.